Keeping Up with Jones, the Lonnie Jones podcast adventure, is brought to you by TKM Incorporated. This company, located in Moss, Tennessee, specializes in erosion control, hydroseeding, hydromulch, silt fence. They do minor excavation work, and they also provide traffic control and construction signs. Their mission is keeping people safe. Their passion is wishing that all men could be saved. TKM stands for The King's Men. If you'd like to contact The King's Men, you can contact them at 931-243-3958, 931-243-3958, or you may email them at tkminc2001@twlakes.net. That is tkminc2001@twlakes.net. The King's Men, in partnership with Keeping Up with Jones, the Lonnie Jones podcast adventure. My friends at the New Hope Church of Christ in Salina, Tennessee, have invited me to share the weekend of April the 7th through 9th in a series of presentations. We'll be meeting on Friday the 7th at 6:30, on Saturday the 8th at 9 a.m., and on Sunday morning the 9th at 9 a.m. for Bible study and at 9:30 for a worship service. We'll be talking about the Christian's response to crisis, to grief, and depression in a series called The Christian and Mental Wellness. The New Hope Church of Christ is located at 3959 New Hope Road in Salina, Tennessee, and we would welcome you to come and share the weekend with us as we discuss the Christian and mental wellness. SJ&L General Contractor is a full construction company that primarily focuses on civil construction and asphalt sales in the Huntsville and Fayetteville regions. Services they provide include, but are not limited to, road construction, asphalt material, underground utilities, site work, and demolition. They employ heavy equipment operators, concrete finishers, pipe layers, and CDL dump truck drivers. If you would like for this company to work for you on your project, or if you'd like to work for them as an employee of this family-owned business, you can contact them at 931-433-4660. That is 931-433-4660, or 3W's and a dot, sjnl.com. That's www.sjnl.com. SJ&L General Contractor is a sponsor of Keeping Up with Jones, the Lonnie Jones podcast adventure. My grandchildren think that I can turn invisible. Now, where did they get such a ridiculous and silly notion? Well, I told them I could. You see, that's part of the mystique of having a grandfather who's a Jedi. Now, the way this legend gets born and embellished is they want to play hide and seek. So they sit on the couch and they count to a designated number and they cover their eyes. And while they're counting, I walk down the hall and I open the closet door where we keep Oreos treats. And then I go down the hallway and I open and close our bedroom door. And then while they're counting, I walk down the hall through the kitchen around into the living room and I sit down on the floor behind the couch where they're sitting. And they get to their designated number and they jump off the couch and they run down the hall like the Keystone Cops. And while they're opening and closing doors looking for me, I sit on the couch. And in just a few minutes, they come back down the hall and they stand there in stunned amazement. I'm sitting there in plain sight, and you can tell on their little faces, what sorcery is this? And I look at them and go, well, I was invisible for a few moments and you just didn't see me. And although fooling a 6 and a 5-year-old does not equal Ninja Skills 304 training, it's pretty funny because they think I can turn invisible. And although, spoiler alert, although I can't turn invisible, I know the secrets of invisibility. You see, I hunt deer, and if I'm sitting in a tree, and I sit with the tree or something behind me so that I'm not silhouetted, as long as I blend into my background and as long as I do minimal movements, I'm invisible sitting in a tree. I really like to hunt with a bow sitting on a small stool close to the ground in a ghillie suit. Now, my particular ghillie suit is a poncho style ghillie suit. It has the strips of leaves on it and it has a hood, and I wear a boonie style hat with a face mask, and I sit on this little stool, and I often sit with facing the woods so that if I turn and draw my bow, my movement is minimal. And I've killed several deer within the range of about 30 yards or less, sitting on the ground in a ghillie suit, and had the deer come up and get in range because I was essentially invisible. I was sitting in this setup in the edge of a field one day with my face facing the woods. I could see through the bushes, but the bushes were so thick I couldn't shoot through them, but I could see through them. My bow is propped on my knee. I'm holding it with my left hand, and I've got my right hand on my rangefinder, and I'm staring through the bushes, and I'm watching this little deer. She's about 75 yards away, and I'm waiting for her to come and angle down this tree line, and the little bush that's sitting in front of me is such that she'll walk by me, and I'll be blocked from her view because the bushes will break up my outline. And so I'm watching this little deer, and I'm waiting on her to start grazing her way toward me, and all of a sudden my rangefinder goes black. And I'm thinking, well, the silly thing is finally run out of batteries. I bought it years ago in Montgomery when Lonnie Beth was playing in a volleyball tournament at Faulkner University. And without thinking, I just pull it away from my face. Well, when I pull my rangefinder away from my face, standing in front of me, and I mean 3 feet or less in front of me, is the largest deer I've ever seen on this property. He has walked out of the bushes in front of the little plant that I'm using as my cover. He is so close to me that with my bow in my hand, I could poke him with the arrow. Now, it wouldn't be a fatal poke, so I'm just going to sit here. I slide my hand up my body and put my hook of my release onto my bowstring. And if this deer will take one more step, I will shoot from the hip. And I'll do a short pick, and I'll bring this deer home. This is a trophy buck. It is the buck of a lifetime. And he doesn't know I'm there. Now, he knows something is up, because he caught the movement of my hand when I dropped my rangefinder from my face. And he turned and he's looking, but he's looking over me. I'm sitting down, he's standing up. I can see his eyelashes. I can see the whiskers on his nose. But he can't smell me, and he can't hear me. I think possibly he can hear my heartbeat because I'm so geeked up and nervous, but he doesn't know I'm there. But he knows something is wrong. And this is a mature buck, and he's old enough to know better. And so instead of taking that fatal final step, he doesn't blow, he doesn't stomp, he doesn't turn, he backs. He takes 2 backward steps and then turns to his right and melts into the forest. And I consider that to be the greatest moment I've ever had as a hunter. It surpasses any deer I've ever harvested. It surpasses any experience I've ever had, because this very mature white-tailed deer walked up to me close enough for me to reach out and touch him, and I was successful in being invisible. He didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. He just didn't do anything wrong, and therefore I didn't get a shot at him. I feel as if I have perfected the art of invisibility. Now, do you want to be invisible? If you'd like to be invisible in your home, if you'd like to be invisible in your school, if you'd like to be invisible in your career, if you'd like to be invisible in your sport pursuit, then all you've got to do is blend into the background. You've got to blend into your surroundings, and don't do anything that calls attention to yourself. Just simply do nothing. I was hiding from a SWAT team. We went to Marshman Training and Consulting up near Elkmont, Alabama. This gentleman owns a range. He's a retired FBI guy, and he let us hide on his property while the drone operators were trying to use the drones to locate us. And really the point of the exercise was not necessarily that we hide from the drone. It was that once the drone found us, could they coordinate the movement of the other police officers, the SWAT guys, to the position where the drone was looking at? So the first part of the exercise was, first of all, see if we can successfully hide from the drone. Well, I was wearing camouflage, and I carried my balaclava, my black ninja mask with me, and I had a camouflage hat on. Well, I walked down into the woods, and I found a sloping part of the hill and a big log that had some lichen and fungus growing on it, and I found me a nice flat rock that I could use as a pillow, and I laid down on this sunny slope. I put my balaclava on. I pulled my hat down over my face. I got an armful of leaves and scattered them over me so that it would break up my outline, and I took a nap. The drone woke me up flying above my head, but it couldn't see me because I was blended into the background, and I was absolutely motionless. The secret of invisibility is don't stand out, don't call attention to yourself, and do nothing. And people who blend in and do nothing are invisible. They're invisible in their sport, they're invisible in their society, they're invisible in their homes, they're invisible in their congregations, they're invisible in every way of life. If you go to the Holocaust Museum, there's a poster at the Holocaust Museum that says the only way that evil prevails is when good men do nothing. Evil prevails when good men are invisible. Evil prevails when good men blend into the background and they don't stand up or they don't stand out, they don't speak out. Evil prevails when good men don't do anything about it, when we don't defend the truth and we don't protect the innocent and we don't protect the weak. And when good men do nothing, that's the only way that evil can prevail. It's when we choose to be motionless and we choose to be invisible. And if you don't want to be invisible, then you've got to live life intentionally. You've got to make some serious decisions about what you're going to stand for and not stand for. You've got to make some serious decisions about what you're willing to stand against and stand up against. Because evil only prevails when good men do nothing. Well, I'll add that when good men remain invisible, it is wrong. And I'll also add when good men do nothing, it is, in and of itself, evil. Using the tool of shortwave radio, World Christian Broadcasting literally covers the world every day with the gospel. They use two large curtain antennas. One is located in Anchor Point, Alaska, and the other in Madagascar. They send out messages that are recorded at their international home in Franklin, Tennessee. They make available 40 hours of broadcast every day. The broadcasts are made in English, Chinese, Russian, Spanish, Portuguese, Korean, English for Africa, and Arabic. They would love for your group to visit them. You can bring your ladies group, your youth group, or your men's group. Just give them a call at 615-371-8707, 615-371-8707, or you can go to worldchristian.org, find the Donate Here button, and make a financial contribution to support this work that literally covers the world every day with the gospel. World Christian Broadcasting, in cooperation with Keeping Up with Jones, the Lonnie Jones podcast adventure. Keeping Up with Jones, the Lonnie Jones podcast adventure, is sponsored by us. What? We sponsor ourselves? Is that even legal? Check us out on Amazon. You can have access to the titles of Pedagogue, the youth ministry book by Lonnie Jones, Cognitive Spiritual Development, a Christ-centered approach to spiritual self-esteem, Grappling with Life, Controlling Your Inside Space, a small essay using the principles of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to talk about psychological and emotional self-defense. If I Were a Mouse, a children's book written and illustrated by Lonnie Jones. And then The Selfish Reel, a very short story about a decision. Also, you can check out our YouTube channel to see archived lessons and presentations from across the country, some videos with rope tricks and knots. Don't forget to visit the Facebook page 550 Guys to learn about the little rope men that we make and that we invented and that we make. And then be sure to click like, subscribe, and share. This is Keeping Up with Jones, the Lonnie Jones podcast adventure.